Tuesdays are going to be at 9 and 1:30, and Thursdays are going to be at 1:30 and 5. It's going to be the same lecture. It's just going to be given in person twice. Just gives a little bit more opportunity for more people to join on with us. We're going to keep them structured the same way that they've been going time-wise. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are still going to be 15 to 20 minutes kind of learning about new exercises, activities that you can do along with, or just kind of take notes and do them on your own time. And Friday is still going to be more of a lecture format, kind of bringing in all the topics that we covered throughout the week and giving you some research to kind of back up some of the claims that we're talking about. This week's theme is back to business. So today's session is going to be all about how to maintain or improve spinal mobility. So we're going to focus a little bit on the neck, the mid back, and the low back. And then Thursday's session is going to be a little bit more of strengthening of some of the key muscles around the spine. And then Friday's lecture is going to be discussing the importance of movement and the role that movement plays in treating, preventing, and managing back pain. So let's get right into it. I just want to start off before we do any actual exercises. If you're having any pain, discomfort, aches, and if you feel like any of the positions that we're going into are uncomfortable, just stop, put it into the chat if you have any questions, and I'll find a way that we can kind of make it tailored a little bit better for you. And if you have any increase in pain or discomfort while you're going through any of these exercises, I just want you to back off a little bit, kind of voice what's happening with your bodies, and then we'll find a way to make it a little more comfortable for you. I don't want you guys pushing through any discomfort. So we're going to start with a yoga strap stretch. That's going to stretch some of the muscles on the side of the neck, that upper trap and that levator scap. So I have a therapy belt. You can use a stretching belt, a therapy belt, roll up a towel, a t-shirt, anything that just doesn't have a lot of give in the material. And what you're going to do is you're going to find your shoulder pointer where your collarbone and your shoulder blade meet, and you're going to come just inside of that. And that's where you're going to apply that strap. So I'm going to be going on my left side first for those of you that are following along with me. So whatever side that the strap is on is the side of your neck that you're stretching. You're going to have that same side arm in front of you pulling down on the strap. Then you're going to take your hand behind you and also pull down on that strap. So there's not too much tension in the strap right now. I just have my hands there. So when I begin the stretch, my shoulder blade is going to want to rise up to my ear. And what you're going to want to do is keep that shoulder blade pinned down to the rib cage by applying pressure into the strap, keeping that shoulder blade stabilized as you bring your chin down towards your opposite armpit. So you should feel a nice stretch at the end range of motion here. And what I like to do instead of counting, I will take 5 deep breaths all the way in, all the way out, really focusing on that exhalation, getting all the air out of your lungs. And on the exhale, you're trying to get a little bit more range of motion out of that stretch. Let's go for one more breath, all the way in, all the way out. Good, and come back up. So this is a stretch that's going to be a little different for everybody because I want you to kind of find and notice where you have the most tension on your own body. So you could play around with what position your head's going to be in while you're completing the stretch. So I like to usually start by just bringing my chin down towards my opposite armpit, but you could also bring your chin down towards your nipple line, towards your chest bone, opposite ear to that shoulder. Wherever you feel you get the most bang for your buck. I like to pick 2 to 3 positions, 5 breaths each position per side. So find one more, and we'll do 3 breaths there. And last one. And come back up to center, and we're gonna switch sides. So I'm gonna do my right side now. So my right hand is gonna be holding the strap in front of my body. My left hand is pulling down on that strap. Good. If you have any numbness and tingling in the hands while you're doing this, ease up some of the pressure that you're pulling down on the strap. And also, you don't want to be right on the neck crease there. You could be compressing what's called a brachial plexus, which is just a cluster of nerves. The moment that you take the strap off, it should relieve the pressure on the brachial plexus, and any numbness and tingling in the hand will stop in a few seconds. So let's get back into the position. Find where you feel the tightness. And we'll run through 5 breaths on this side. And whenever you're ready, you're gonna breathe all the way in and all the way out. On that exhale, kinda imagine that muscles on the side of the right of your neck elongating, relaxing, letting go. Two more breaths. And last breath. Good. And back up to center. Okay. So that's the yoga strap stretch to get that first rib down, levator, scap, upper trap muscle, a lot of tension that's going to be held in the neck while we're all working from home with our shoulders raised up to our ears. This is a great way to start your day by loosening up anything that could be happening there and relieving a lot of pressure above the shoulders. So the next thing that we're going to do, also staying in the neck, we're going to teach you guys how to do figure eights with the neck. So all we're going to do is pretty much bring our necks through whatever your available range of motion is. So just watch me do the first one, and then I'm going to have you guys jump in. So I'm going to start by looking all the way down to the right. Now I'm going to make a big circle, getting all that extension into the neck, coming back down to center. And now going down to the left, leading with my eyes, and back up. So this should all be in a comfortable range of motion. You shouldn't be having any increase in pain with this. If you feel like there's an area where you're getting stopped or blocked, back off, don't push through it. And let's do 5 to each side. So down to the right, back up, back to center. Leading with my eyes down to the left, back up. Good, and that's 1. Down to the right, looking back up over the right shoulder, back up to center, down to the left, all the way around over the left shoulder, back to center, 2. And while you're going through these, try to focus on where you feel it's most difficult, tight, hardest to control that motion. And those are the motions that you want to kind of slow down when you get to, and really try to focus and concentrate if you can open that up. If you get to an area that's really tight, what you could try to do is hold that position there. Just take a deep breath or 2. And let that rib cage do a lot of the work for you. So as you exhale, it's going to drop the rib cage down a little bit, lengthening a lot of the muscles that surround the neck. Let's go around one more time. Down to the right. Back up over that right shoulder. Back to center. Down to the left. Over the left shoulder. And back to the middle. Good. So those are our cervical or our neck figure eights. The next motion I'm going to show you guys is a great way to regain some extension in that mid upper back. a lot of us and our entire society is biased into flexion. So we spend a lot of time sitting, a lot of time crouched over on computers, texting, reading books, things like that. So it's really easy for our bodies to bend forward, but a lot of the time we're lacking the ability to get out of that position, open up our chest, open up our mid back, and get some of that extension that we really need. So what I'm going to use for this is a foam roller. If you guys don't have a foam roller at home, what I like to do is roll a pillow really tight and then wrap a towel around that, and that'll give you that circular fulcrum that you could bend over. I'm just going to point the screen down so you can see a little bit better there. So you're going to grab your foam roller. You're going to put it just below where you feel the most stiffness, because you want to start in an area that's not super tight, just so you know how to learn the technique. You're then going to take your elbows, place them together with your hands, just holding the back of your head. You're not trying to bend your neck forward or support the weight of your head. They're just here to kind of rest there. And then you're going to take a deep breath in, deep breath out. On the exhale, you're going to bend backwards over that foam roller, allowing those elbows to go down towards the floor, opening up the chest. You might get some cracks, pops, cavitations with this. That's completely normal. All that is gas being released between the joints. After you get to that position, slowly flex those abs, crunch back up, elbows together, and you can roll your body back down onto the next segment. And repeat there. Breath out, elbows coming back towards the ground. You could take a deep breath in and out in this end range position. If you feel like something's got a crack, but it doesn't do it on its own, just use that breath to gain that motion. Flex the abs, crunch back up. Find your next segment. Back down. Back up. Good. I see some of you guys are doing it already, but if you don't have a foam roller, another thing that you can do is just do it over the back of a chair. Any office chair will do. So you can do the same thing, hands on your sides, come back over, and come back up. If you want to get lower down the spine, just place some pillows or books underneath you so that it raises your back in relation to the backrest. Next one we're going to do is a cat camel. Really like this exercise because you can really emphasize and focus which part of the back you want to work on. So we're going to start in a neutral position. Your hands are going to be underneath your shoulders and your knees are going to be underneath your hips. You're going to do a little chin tuck. You're going to bring your head down while arching your back like an angry cat up towards the sky. Hold that for 1-2 count. And then you're going to work on using some of that extension we just gained. Sag your back down towards the ground. Look up towards the sky. Should all be in a comfortable range of motion. If you're trying to use this exercise to gain some mobility, what I recommend you doing is continue using your breath to do all the hard work. So come on down, find where it's tightest, and you can breathe into that. And on the exhale is when you're focusing on getting a little bit more motion. Let's do 2 more in this position. All the way down. And 1 more. Back up. And back to neutral. So next, we're going to sink our hips down towards our heels. And this is gonna help us target our lower back more. So you're gonna do the same motion here. Arch up and back down. Arch up and back down. Do 3 more. Two more. Last one. Good. And then the last position for this exercise, you're going to target your upper back. So you're going to weight shift forward. So your shoulders are now in front of your hands. And you do the same movement here. So back up, pushing those hands into the ground, and arch back down. Up. And back down. So 2 more. And last one. Good. And back to center. You got one more exercise for you guys. My favorite one. So this is going to be called segmental flexion and extension. So let me talk you through it first before you do it. So you have joints that go all the way down your spine from the base of your skull all the way down to your sacrum, the bone in between your 2 pelvic bones. What I want you to do is try to take a moment to feel where you have the most tension and when you have the most difficulty moving through in those muscles and those joints. So we're going to start by having you open up or flex each segment by segment down your spine. So we're going to start by bringing your chin towards your chest bone, opening up the joints, starting at the top of the neck, working your way down to the base of the neck into that upper back. Then you're going to keep folding down segment by segment, thinking each vertebrae is peeling off of the one below it as you're going down. You're going to continue going through that mid back into that low back. Let your arms rest between your legs if you're sitting down, and they're just going to gradually go down towards the floor. So this is a great exercise to feel where you need to focus your mobility work on. Where do you feel the tightest? Where do you have the least amount of control to open up segment by segment? And those are the areas that you should be spending more time on. So now that you're all the way in this flex position, you're going to push your feet into the ground, making sure that you're weight bearing through your feet. And I want you to think about extending upwards segment to segment. So just moving the opposite direction we just did. So you're thinking about that pelvis rolling back onto the seat, that sacral bone coming back up, upright, opening up my lumbar spine, my low back, my mid back, my upper back, my neck, all the way to the base of my skull. Good. All right. And those are all the exercises. Does anybody have any questions on those? Nope. All right, guys. Well, if you do, I'm pretty sure most of you, if not all of you, have my contact info. So even if you guys just want to chat, feel free. And just reach out if you guys have any questions.
That was great. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, of course, guys. Enjoy this sunny day.
Thanks, Joe. Good to see you.
Good luck to everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys Thursday.